important things that you need to remember when it comes to career development. Okay, so are you seeing my presentation now?
Yes, Mia, we can, but there is a noise here in the, I don't know if it's coming from you or if it's from some, but they are all muted. So it might be you, maybe your, okay.
Okay.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, now it's okay. Okay, so we can see your presentation. Looks fantastic. Good morning, Bianca, as well. I didn't say good morning before. All right. So Mia, I'm going to be here in silent mode. The floor is yours. I know you'll do an amazing job, both of you, with Bianca. And I hope all the students enjoy this and learn new things with this and experiment. And I don't know, I know, I would say that it's going to be experimental and very, very interactive. So before I go, oh, my camera is off. So before I go and leave you to start with the activities, just ask the students to open their camera if needs be, and if you want further interaction for them. And if you need anything, you can reach out to me if you need any assistance. All right?
all right. Thank
All
you so
right.
much, Georgia. Thanks a lot. Okay,
Enjoy.
thanks. And we definitely
Thank you.
we will enjoy all together. Okay, so as I said earlier, this is a global career fair, the career workshop portion, which is meant to equip you all with important things you need to remember for career development. So I'm very, very happy to be here. It's great to be connecting with you from all over the world, from different countries, right? So first, I would like to introduce myself, and then Bianca will introduce herself as well. So my name is Mia Zamora. I'm a strategic HR consultant and an executive coach. And my background is in HR. So I have worked in human resources for over 17 years now, which gives you guys an idea of how old I am. But please forget that detail, because I feel like it was just yesterday when I was in your place and I was also thinking about what my career would be after graduating from university, or even after graduating from a master's degree. So my background work has been in Asia and also a few years now in Spain. So I will be able to give you different insights about what it's like getting a job or developing your career in these places. And of course, joining me today is Bianca Jaen. Hi, Bianca.
Hi, Mia. Thanks. I'm so happy to be here too, guys. Thanks, Georgia, for inviting us. I'm actually a career advisor and an HR and talent manager, guys. I'm from Panama. I almost have 15 years also of experience in multinational companies and international as well. I started my career back in Panama. My background as well, it's started in communications and marketing, but as you know, sometimes life it takes us to another path. So I do started to specialize myself in human resources as well. So actually, I've been living in Spain for 7 years now, working for different companies. I'm actually working for a digital startup. So we're really glad to be here to share our knowledge as well, and that you can learn for your day-to-day basics. So we really are happy to be here with you guys.
Yes, it's definitely an honor, because you are the future. You are the future leaders of the professional world. So it's great for us to have a hand in helping you along your career journey. So as you know, this is going to be a long workshop. So we want you to remember that we don't want this to be like a lecture where it's only Bianca and myself speaking. We want this to be interactive. So please ask as many questions as you want, because that's what we're here for. You can take advantage of our experience to ask your questions. Use the chat box to participate. Use the reaction buttons to show what you think about the things that we are discussing. So yes, it may be long, but I promise you, you will learn these important tips for your career. not just for now, not just for getting the first job that comes along, but also in the future. So what we want is for you to really develop a meaningful career. So let's think bigger picture here. Okay, so since it's quite difficult for us to get to know each other one by one and to ask questions one by one, right? Let's play a game to break the ice a little and to get to know each other. So the game is called Human Bingo. I'm sure you're familiar with the game Bingo, although it's probably a game that your grandparents like more than us in this generation. But the idea is, if there is a description that applies to you, please hit a reaction button. It could be the heart button, it could be the smiley face or the thumbs up. So if that description applies to you. Now, if there is someone who hits all the descriptions, meaning all of the descriptions that we say applies to you, you will be the winner of our Human Bingo game. All right, so let's try. Let's try it. So for letter B, the first category or the first description under letter B, who among you has a pet dog? Please hit the heart reaction button if you have a pet dog. Okay.
Well, there's a lot of people hitting the reaction button, Mia. I'm seeing a lot of them.
Okay, so a lot of you have pet dogs. Okay, so let's choose one of them, Bianca, and we can ask them a little more about
Yeah. I think Laya was one also saying.
Okay, Laya, can you just quickly unmute yourself and tell us what is the name of your dog?
She's called Senna.
Senna. Oh, wow. Thank you, Laya. Okay, so next description under letter I. Who among you are fans of the show Succession on HBO? Who among you are watching it because the finale was recently, right? A few months ago. So a lot of people were into that show. Okay.
I think we just have one, but I can't see who's the one who do that reaction. But I think just one at least know the show, Mia.
Only one. Oh,
I
wow.
think.
I thought this was a very famous show. Okay, so could you please unmute yourself and tell us who is your favorite character in Succession? To that one person.
I think I like the father the most.
Logan.
Yeah.
The father. Okay, very interesting. All right. So he definitely was a memorable character.
Yeah.
So next description, let's see if it applies to you. Who among you can play a musical instrument? Please hit the thumbs up or the like reaction if you can play a musical instrument.
Oh, I think there's also several ones. Hearts, I'm seeing hearts. I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up.
Okay.
So definitely we have a lot of people also here that plays musical instrument. Maybe you can share us which instrument that you play.
Yes, please pick one person, Bianca, and we will ask them which musical instrument they play.
Maybe I think Omar.
Omar. Okay, please share with us which musical instrument you play.
I'm sorry, I think this is a misunderstanding because I didn't hit any
Oh.
reaction button, but I like music, I like dancing, but unfortunately I can't play any instrument.
All right, that's okay. So you like music and you like dancing. Thank you, Omar. Okay, so let's see if there are people in the running to hitting our bingo blackout, meaning all of the descriptions apply to you. Let's see if there's someone. So our next descriptor is, who likes to dance to reggaeton?
Maybe Omar that was saying that he loves to dance. Maybe he loves also to dance reggaeton, Omar.
Right. So who among you like reggaeton and dances to reggaeton? And tell us who your favorite artist is. Which reggaeton artist is your favorite? Anyone there?
I'm seeing a lot of hearts and also a clap hand. So maybe you want to share someone who loves to dance reggaeton, guys.
Yes. So tell us, who's your favorite artist?
Bad Bunny is a good one.
Bad Bunny. Okay.
Yeah, that's true, Eric.
He's
I
definitely
love.
global fame already, right?
Yeah, I really like Bad Bunny as well.
Okay. So next one. Who plays football or soccer? I'm sure there are probably a lot of you guys who
I'm
play.
seeing also hearts, thumbs up, clap hands. Well, Omar also a thumbs up.
Who's your favorite, Bianca? So, can you please tell us who is your favorite team? And I hope it's Real Madrid.
Yes, it's Real Madrid.
Definitely.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So good to know that you also like Real Madrid. Okay. So next category is, who among you is vegetarian or vegan? Anyone
Oh,
here
okay.
vegetarian or vegan?
Well, I'm not seeing a lot of reactions. Almost none, son.
Almost
I'm
none. Wow, that's
so
surprising. I thought that this generation is the more healthy, like
well, there's
health.
a heart.
Oh, there's one. Okay. So could you tell us, since when have you been vegetarian or vegan? How long now?
Hello. I think about 7.5 years. I've been vegan actually.
Wow.
Wow.
That's amazing. It's great. It's not only great for you, but it's also great for the environment, right? So thank you for
I
sharing.
guess we can agree to disagree whether that's healthy or not.
I do, yes. So we're all entitled to our different preferences and different opinions. Okay. Next, who can speak French? Who here can speak French?
Oh, I'm seeing two hearts. Whoa, a lot of hearts and one thumbs up.
Wow.
So there's people who speak French in the room, Mia.
That's great. You know what? That's one of the greatest things about being able to connect through technology, right? With people from different countries, different parts of the world who speak different languages. So, okay, we have some French speakers in the room as well. Okay, next. Who has a tattoo or a piercing? Tattoo or piercing? Anyone?
I'm seeing also a lot of reactions.
Okay.
Nadine.
Would anyone like to share with us what do you have a tattoo? What is it? Is it a symbol? Is it a particular animal, for example? So anyone would like to share? What do you have a tattoo of?
Oh, here in the chat, I don't know if it's a tattoo. Rawan. Oh well, no. I think he raised it.
Ah, okay. Would anyone like to share what thing did you get inked on your body?
Perseus,
I
Hope,
got
Medusa.
Okay, different things, right? So we all have different preferences. Thank you for that. Who has been to Amsterdam? Who has already been to Amsterdam? This is one place that I have on my list. I have yet to go to Amsterdam, although it's closer to me now than Asia, but yes, I would love to go at some point. So has anyone been there?
Yeah, it's a lot of people, Mia. It was a lot of hearts. So I love also Amsterdam. For me, it's like a really beautiful city with the canals. So to take a lot of pictures, it's really
You're
Amazing
also
to
lucky.
walk there.
Yeah, so lucky to have been able to visit already. All right. And the last one, can surf. Is there anyone here who can surf or at least stand on the board? That
Well,
counts
Eric is
already.
a heart. I'm seeing Nadine as well, a heart.
Okay, so
So quite a people can surf.
quite a lot. Yes. Can you tell us where is your favorite place to surf?
Maybe
Was it
someone.
Eric or Nadine? Where is your favorite surfing spot?
In Portugal. Portugal has very nice surfing spots.
Yeah.
Agree.
So lots of great waves there. Okay, so is there anyone in the group who has said yes to all of these descriptions? Meaning you have hit the bingo blackout. If all of these descriptions apply to you, you must be a very interesting person and we would like to meet you. Anyone, please raise your hand, put a thumbs up if all apply to you. Or none.
I'm not seeing anyone, so maybe we don't have.
Okay, so we don't have one who has all of these descriptions, but that's fine because now we know a little bit about each other. We know some interesting trivia about each other. And feel free, of course, later on to connect with each other if you have the same interests. So,
Amy, I think you got mute.
how did
Oh, no. Now we can hear you.
there? Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. So the idea here is for you guys to get to know each other as well. So we want this to be the start of good friendships, even across different countries. So do reach out to each other if you have the same interests, because now we know a little bit of trivia about each other. Okay, great. So we played our first game and now we can begin. So the first workshop in this morning's coverage is all about who am I. So you might be wondering why is there a need to discuss this when this is supposed to be a career workshop? Aren't we just supposed to talk about how to write a good CV or how to make a nice like LinkedIn profile? But the idea is that all of that needs to be rooted in a very strong sense of self. You need to be very clear about who you are so that you can base your career on that. So like we said, we're thinking big picture, right? So we want you to think beyond just getting your first job, but more than that, how to build a really meaningful and a really fulfilling career. So that cannot happen unless you are very clear about who you are and what you are able to contribute. All right. So this is the reason why this is our workshop number 1. So when we talk about identity, when we talk about who am I, there is a very famous concept actually called ikigai. It's a Japanese concept which means your reason for being. So please hit the heart reaction button if you know this concept already or if you have heard of ikigai. So if you've heard of ikigai, if you've read the book, if you've seen it on Netflix, because there are some documentaries that discuss this, give us a heart reaction.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of people giving hearts, Mia. So I think this words is really known, this concept as well.
So I'm really happy to hear that. Okay, so if you know a little bit about this already, we're going to do a review of what the ikigai is, especially for those who will hear this for the first time. So it means your reason for being or your purpose. Now it's composed of 4 different parts. The first is what you love. The second is, what are you good at? What are your talents? Okay. Then the third is, what does the world need? It needs to be relevant. It has to be something that companies are looking for or what the world needs right now. And the last part is what you can be paid for. So according to this concept, if you have all of these four, if you know all of these four, then you are living according to your purpose or your reason for being. So sometimes you do what you love, but let's say it's not really relevant to the world, or it's not something that companies are willing to pay you for. So it just becomes a hobby, and you cannot live through that means. Okay, so it's incomplete. There are some also who they do what they're good at. They do things that they are educated for, or they have a certain expertise and they earn a lot from it, but it's not something that they love. So it's still incomplete. It's not, it doesn't give you that entire picture of your reason for being. So that's the reason why all four have to be present. Now, for some people, you can be very lucky and know your ikigai from the time you're a child. Like, I know some people who say, I want to be a doctor, and that's it. They grow up, they take up medicine, and they live according to that passion. But for some people, it takes a while. Like, okay, let me ask you, Bianca, did you know as early as when you were a child that you wanted to work in HR or talent management?
No, I would say definitely a no, Mia. When I was younger, I would say I love so many things that I actually really don't know what I want to study or specialize. But actually, in my last year of high school, I decided to study marketing. But my actual professional first experience was in an HR area. So I began, like learning some new stuff that I began seeing that I really liked it. So then that's why I decided to change and study a master in HR. So now I've been working for almost 15 years in this sector. So yeah, we would say that it's not something that I used to know back there, no?
Yeah. So sometimes life surprises us and takes us to different places from the original plan. Like, I also thought I was going to be a doctor all the way until I was a senior in high school. And then suddenly I decided to take business instead, and then do a minor in industrial psychology. And that's how I ended up in HR. So the idea is, for some people, it takes a while to develop your ikigai. It takes a lot of introspection. It takes a lot of thinking, observing, trying out different things. But now that we are sharing this concept with you, we want you to start thinking about it as early as now. It's possible that you will find your perfect career fit later on in life. That's fine. But as early as now, start thinking about it so that you discover it faster. And as soon as you discover your purpose, the intersection of your passion, your mission, your profession, and your vocation, the more fulfilling and the more meaningful your career will be. Okay, so you have received an online student manual or a student workbook, or if you haven't received it yet, you will right after this session. So please work on this on your own time. Please reflect on this on your own time, because it's hard for us to figure out now, like, okay, what are the answers to all of these questions? So it's a lot of pressure to do in just a few minutes. But to help you along, we have another activity. It's called Talk Show. And through this talk show, we're going to be asking you questions that will help you think about your ikigai. All right. So I'm sure you're familiar with the talk show of, let's say, Jimmy Fallon. So the idea is the same thing. We want to invite 3 guests from the audience to be part of our talk show, and we'll be asking you some questions. Okay, so Bianca, would you mind please selecting our 3 guests for the talk show?
So let's see who's gonna be the ones participating. Maybe Eric?
Okay, Eric,
Um,
our first guest, and two more.
yeah. How about Leah?
Eric, Leah, and one more.
How about Sarah Hassan?
Sarah. Great. Okay, so hi, Eric, Leah, and Sarah. Please unmute yourselves, and we would like to chat with you for a little bit.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Eric. Okay. So first, we'd like to know you a little bit more. Please tell us where you are, what country you are at, and what
Hello.
courses are you taking? So let's start with you, Sarah.
Yes, for sure. I'm based in Beirut. And as you talked about changing majors and stuff like that, I can relate because I come from civil engineering background and in minor in engineering management. And I'm pursuing a master's in management with digital marketing since I'm in a role that involves digital marketing with a US agency.
Wow. What a fantastic combination. You have an engineering background and then a master's in management and digital marketing. I mean,
Yes, and I have on the side a hobby as a photographer. I do work in photography as well.
wow,
Nice. That's interesting. Yeah.
that's so cool. So
Yeah.
what can't you do, right? You can do it. Okay, thank you, Sarah. What about Eric? So Eric, tell us where you are and what course you are taking.
So I'm currently in Luxembourg and I'm enrolled in the Finance and FinTech Business Administration Bachelor. And I'm currently working at Apex Group here in Luxembourg. It's a wealth administration company. I work in HR, data analysis, and a reporting officer.
Wow, very interesting as well. The finance and the fintech sector, which is growing, it's getting a lot of interest as well these days. So that's fascinating. Okay. And Leah,
Hello. Hi. I'm currently in Slovakia. I am enrolled in strategic management and marketing, and currently I'm working for many dentists, and I'm doing their marketing in Slovakia and also some of the real estate in Dubai. So it's
Wow.
fun. Yeah.
okay, you all have very interesting profiles and it's great that we are now connected to each other. I mean, from Luxembourg, from Beirut, from Slovakia, from Madrid. So it's awesome that we're able to do this now. And I think it's great that you're also working while studying. All of you are working while studying. Okay, so we will be asking you some questions and just tell us the first thing that comes to mind. So very natural. Okay, so let's start with you, Leah. What activities do you enjoy doing? Like it doesn't feel like work because you have fun with it.
Yeah, I think I really enjoy painting, and modeling is one of also my passions. I feel like a senior now in modeling, but I think I'll try to go back to it because I miss it. And yeah, mainly the painting, architecture, and just creativity.
Okay, so how do you tie that up with your course of strategic management and marketing? Like, what do you enjoy about your course as well that maybe uh, touches the creative side that you enjoy?
Yes, that is true. Okay, to be honest, I don't like accounting. I do nothing with math. It's not my passion. But everything about marketing and the creativity, and it's really interesting how people can see some catchy phrases about your company and suddenly get into your head. And it's like all about the creativity for people. It's
Yeah.
just Yeah, I think
Yeah.
marketing is all about. It is true that you have their trafficking and everything, but then on the other side you have the creative side and just like go out of the box and just get a bit crazy with your peers.
So
Definitely agree.
Yeah,
yeah, it's great that even while you're studying marketing, you can use your creative side.
exactly.
In that. So it doesn't really feel so much like work. It's actually something you enjoy.
Exactly.
Great. Great. So what about Eric? So Eric, you work in finance and fintech. So what about it do you enjoy?
Well, the things that I enjoy. Do you mean about my job currently or about what I'm studying?
It can be a little of both. So about what you're studying and if it relates to what you're doing now in your job.
Well, I mean, some things that I'm studying right now relate to the job, but in the end, I got this job by studying on my own. I taught myself how to program with Python, and through that, I learned how to do data analysis. And so that's why companies had a lot of interest in this type of skill because it's something very new. So it's nothing that university taught me, but I learned on my own, and I really enjoy it. To be honest, I enjoy the part of coding and data analysis.
That's a perfect example of something you enjoy, that you liked it so much that you learned it yourself. You taught yourself how to do this, and now you're able to use it. And it's something that companies are willing to pay for because not everyone can do Python, for example. So
Exactly.
that is a fantastic example. Thank you, Eric. Okay, so let's move on to the next question with Sarah. So, Sarah, what would you say are your biggest achievements? What would you consider your biggest achievements so far?
Actually, it's a critical question. My biggest achievement was taking the decision to shift from engineering into digital marketing, actually.
Wow.
It is
Yeah.
indeed an achievement because making a decision like that is not easy to do, right? I'm sure you had to consider a lot of things.
Exactly. I've applied to GBSB Global since 2021. And then the decision was so tense. Then afterwards, I said, let's go for that.
Definitely an achievement to be proud of. So that's great. Okay. What about Leah? What are your biggest achievements so far?
My biggest achievements, I would say, I would say maybe in the modeling world, that what I've done, like on what shows I've been, that I think that I'm like happy for that. And maybe also the jobs that, even though I'm not done with my school and I'm still like even not done with my bachelor's, like with my knowledge and with my, let's say, hard work, I've been in some jobs that were really like on a higher level and were fun. And that really, like, I get a lot of knowledge from. And even they were really like happy to have me there. And I just also showed them like new things.
Yeah, that's
great.
really something to be proud of because the fact that you haven't even finished your bachelor's yet and you've already worked, you've already done different things, you've been part of different projects, that is definitely an achievement as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. So now for Eric, what do you consider your true talents? Like people tell you that you are very talented in this thing, or you get feedback from people that you're so good at something. So what would that be?
Funnily enough, music. So before enrolling to the bachelor in finance, I studied for 15 years music, and I was
Oh.
And so usually that's what people tell me that I'm really good at. Eventually I switched to finance because with music, of course, it's hard to make any money out of it. So right now it's still something that I do daily. It's just a hobby, basically. What was what you were talking about before?
Yeah, so it's okay because we are multifaceted individuals. No, it can't have everything in just one field. So I think it's great that you have other talents aside from your chosen field of finance and fintech. And I think within that realm of finance and fintech and programming, etc., you also have specific talents that you find like easier to do than other people, right? So that's a great way of diversifying your interests and your talents as well. Okay, Sarah, what do you consider your true talents?
Eventually, on the personal level, it's photography, taking beautiful pictures for people and capturing the moments. I feel like it's an essential part of me as a whole. On the other side, on the corporate side, I'm so good in analysis, coming from background with engineering. So as you know, that digital marketing have a lot to do with analysis nowadays. This is the true talent I've got from engineering into digital marketing.
I think it's great that people have different layers. So there's a layer of being artsy, like, photography, music, etc. There's also a layer of the corporate side, the professional side, and you have talents in both. So these are questions that are meant to help you start thinking about what to put in your Ikigai exercise, because actually possible, maybe it's possible to be able to use all of these talents in a certain role or in a certain job. So that's awesome. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay. And the last question. What can companies pay you for? What is something that you do or you can do now that companies would be willing to pay you for? So Leah, let's say in marketing or in strategic management, or in some of the previous roles that you've done, the previous work that you've done, what are things that companies are willing to pay you for?
Mainly, I would say everything what is done like by marketing, like even in, for example, branding, like logos or newsletters or like that, like companies really need that. Mainly I see it around the dentistry and dental clinics, like they are really willing and need the help of going on websites, having like, for example, Bookimed, where you can attract clients from around the world and not just Slovakia, because we're not that big of a country and there is a big competition going on. And yeah, mainly around the marketing and yeah, also the brandings.
Yes, marketing, branding, making logos, etc. Those are definitely things that companies are very willing to pay you for.
Definitely,
So, branding and creating a brand identity for a company. Okay. So Eric, you already mentioned earlier that, let's say, your skills in Python, etc., programming are things that companies are willing to pay you for. Are there other things as well that you would like to add to that list?
Yeah, I mean, it's always related to Python, but it's more on the data side. So my specialization is more in the data structuring. For example, in the company in which I was before, which was Ferrero, I was hired in the finance team and I did the whole data structure for their reporting system. I rebuilt it for.
That's very important for companies. In fact, I mean, I know many companies who are desperate to get someone who can do data analysis, right, Bianca? So
yeah, definitely.
So many companies are looking for that. Okay, so thank you so much, Eric, Leah, and Sarah, for participating in our talk show. And for the
Thank
rest
you.
of you who have been listening, we hope that these questions help you to get started in your Ikigai exercise. Meaning, when you do this tonight, you can use these questions and ask yourself these questions to help you list down everything, all your options. Because it might be possible that there are things that you can naturally do that you really enjoy that you can incorporate to your work, to your future job or your future career. And that would be the best setup. It doesn't have to be a very clear like division of what I enjoy on my free time or personal time versus work. Okay, so it's possible to create a career or a life out of something that you love, that you enjoy,
Mhm.
that companies value and pay you for. Okay, so we hope that it makes it clearer now. So
Thank
thanks
you very much.
for participating. Thanks. Okay, so moving on. The idea is that we discover like our strengths, right? We all have different strengths as we saw in the examples of Eric, Leah, and Sarah. Everyone has different strengths. So let's try to discover some of them using creative thinking, since a lot of you are creatives as well as of management and marketing and finance. So we'll also ask you interesting questions, and the rest of the audience can now participate. So Bianca will select among those who raise their hands. Okay. If you were a book, if you were a book, what book would you select to represent your life? Very deep question, right?
Definitely, Mia.
If you were a book, what book would you choose to represent
See,
you?
Sarah has raised her hand. Maybe you can tell us, Sarah, which book you feel you like.
Yeah, it's Start with Why for Simon Sinek.
Hmm.
Oh, that's a
Uh,
nice book.
it's a very nice book.
Yeah.
It's just a brief, everything in life starts with a why. If you don't know your why, the core value, you'll never achieve the end result.
Mm.
Very excellent choice, Sarah. Excellent choice. Yes. Always start with why. So it's very related to our theme in this module, right? Start with why. Start with who you are and what it is that you really want to do. Okay, thanks. Anyone else? If you were a book, what book would you choose?
I'm
To
really
be,
sorry.
yeah,
Can I just I'm because I'm in the office. Can I just I'm sorry.
yes, sure. Anyone else? If you were a book, if you were a book, what title would you choose? Which book would you choose? Anyone else, Bianca, who raising their hand?
Um, I think I just saw a reaction, but not a raised hand. So if someone wants to at least mention, what do you feel? Maybe I can share also, Mia.
Yes, please.
If I were a book, I was thinking why Sarah was expressing her. Look, see, Amna, she wants also to participate. But well, I'm just gonna share mine really quickly. If I were a book, I would say I would be The Artist Way of Julia Cameron. I really like this book as we were talking about creativity because what I do truly believe is that we are artists our way in create and building our life as well. So I think that's a really book not only on the creativity side but also for a life. So we have
I,
here
yeah.
Anma,
Yes,
yeah, and
Am.
Leah that
Hello.
also want to share.
Okay.
Anma,
Uh,
you can share. Mhm.
yeah.
I just read a book, but I haven't completed it yet. It's called The Alchemist by
Oh.
Paulo. I don't know how to pronounce his surname, but for me, I think it's a very good, inspiring book about self discovery and pursuing your dreams. So I think for me, because I haven't really had much of an experience yet, I think this book is it reflects like maybe my adventurous spirit, maybe trying to find meaning into something and maybe to connect to it. So that's why I think it has a very captivating and thought-provoking tale that will inspire you to chase after your own dreams. So yes, that's the book I think that would represent me for now, The Alchemist.
Thank you so much, Anna. And you know, that is exactly the same book I would have if it were me.
Exactly.
That was exactly the book I would have chosen because I read that many, many years ago and it inspired me so much. The idea of going on a personal journey and discovering yourself all over again. And that is one of the things that inspired me to leave the Philippines, my country, and to come to Spain. So it's amazing. We have the same book to represent ourselves. Okay, so I think Mohammed as well. You raised your
We have, yeah, well, we have before Leah and then Nayara also. So
okay. So who would like to speak first? Please unmute yourself.
I think Leah was first.
Okay,
And
Leah,
then,
if
yeah.
you
So I was thinking about the book, and I think if I was a book, I would go for the writer Mark Manson, who wrote the subtle art of not giving a.
Oh,
ah
that's a
Yeah.
great book also. Yeah.
I think it's the approach of living the good life. Yeah.
yes.
Yes. And
So
going like your way also.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a really nice book too.
very interesting choices. Okay. Nayara?
Yes.
I just quickly wanted to say it's a bit crazy actually, Samora. I think for me, The Alchemist represents a similar story as well. But also, as Leah said, I finished reading not too long ago The Subtle Art of, yeah.
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 And it's actually also both of these books, I would say, are right now on my top list. So yeah, a coincidence.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's great that even with diverse backgrounds and cultures, we do have some favorite books.
Similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there one more? Mohammed, I think you raised your hand. Okay. So maybe not then. All right. The next one, if you were a song, what song would you choose?
Oh, see in the chat, Ekaterina shares that her book is Essentialism, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less book by Greg McKeown. That's a
Mm,
nice book too. Yeah, really
yeah.
interesting. Thanks for sharing, Ekaterina.
Thanks. Okay, now let's shift to songs. So just quickly, maybe two people. If you were a song, what song would you choose to represent yourself and your journey, your life?
This is
Any?
a tough one, but there's a lot of musical people here, so maybe one wants to share if they were a song, what you would be, guys.
Little Wing by Jimi Hendrix.
Ooh, that's a really nice
song,
Eric. I love Jimi Hendrix as well.
That's not very usual to see.
So could you tell us why that song, Eric?
Not much because of the lyrical aspect, but more because of how the song goes with the chord progressions. It's a song that changes a lot, and it has like different sections, and it's always surprising. So I feel like my life has been like that, most of it.
What a
In many
beautiful connection. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's not so much the lyrics, it's the song itself. That's
That's
amazing.
really beautiful too. Yeah. We have before going, Mia, I just want to read. We have in the chat Sarah that participates also. She mentioned Passenger, Let Her Go. That I remember that song. That's really beautiful song too. And Amna also shared Don't Stop Believing by Journey.
Don't Stop Believing. So that's the
Yeah.
to represent your journey and your life. Okay. And our last one. Our last question. If you were an animal, what animal would you choose that embodies certain qualities that you have, certain strengths that you have? So what animal would you choose to represent yourself? Anyone? So please, you can share in the chat box or you can raise your hand so that Bianca can call you.
I haven't seen someone, but can you feel like an animal you are, guys, that you want to share because of their qualities?
Maybe a little harder to think of this one. If it were me answering this question, I would say a swan, because a swan looks like it's gliding smoothly, but beneath the surface of the water, it's paddling a lot. So in a way, that's more or less I feel is representative of me as well. So I do enjoy working hard and yet also enjoying life.
That's a really beautiful Mia too.
So anyone?
Anyone wants to share?
Just one example, guys.
At least one.
Okay.
Oh, Mohammed.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that an eagle. It's my.
Why an eagle?
Because it represents independence and freedom. So.
Independence and freedom. So those are the words that resonate with you. So thank you so much, everyone, for participating and for thinking out of the box, because that's the idea. We want you to think about these words that resonate with you, these themes that color your lives, that influence your path and your journey, because there are different kinds of intelligences, there are different kinds of strengths, and it's okay to be good in some and not so good in the others. And the idea is that we complement each other, so we are part of a grand orchestra. So if it's possible for us to really know what our strengths are, what resonates with us, what our values are, for example, then we can find our place in a company or in an organization or even in a startup or something that you, or a business that you start yourself. But we are part of one big orchestra of complementary talents. So we find other people who complement us in the things that we would like to learn a little bit more of. And we also share um, our strengths with others. So that's the general idea. Okay, so as one of your assignments as well, later today or at your convenient time, it would be very good for you to do a personal SWOT analysis. So those of you taking up management and business, I'm sure you're very familiar with the SWOT analysis, because we do SWOTs for teams, for products, for services. But it's also a great exercise to do a SWOT analysis on yourself to see your baseline. Where are you right now? So as you know, the strengths and weaknesses are internal to you. This is about you and what you're good at, what people tell you, or what you know are maybe some bad habits you have that need to be improved. Those would be your weaknesses, or things you don't know yet, knowledge you still need to acquire. That's internal, that's about you. Opportunities and threats are external. That's what's happening outside in the world. And we then decide whether that is an opportunity for us or a threat. Like, for example, would you say AI is an opportunity or a threat? Raise your hands, like hit the raise hand button if you think it's an opportunity.
Oh, we have Eric, Ekaterina, Alexandra, Nayara, Maria.
A lot. And hit the heart button if you think it's a threat. Is AI a threat to human jobs?
I saw one heart, so
One
at least
heart.
one,
And
two.
many raised hands. Okay. So
Yeah.
yes, actually the answer here is it depends. It depends on your situation right now. So for example, everybody is talking about AI and Chat GPT. If you are interested in that, and if it's something that you know how to do and you can integrate it in your work, then definitely AI is an opportunity, and you should leverage on that when you do your personal SWOT analysis. But if, let's say, AI is, or technology in general, is something you don't enjoy, you don't like it, you don't know anything about it, then it could be considered a threat. Because if the world is moving or shifting in that direction, then it's possible that we could get left behind if we don't keep up. So the answer of this is it depends, and you need to be able to identify what are the trends, the global trends out there that you can consider personal opportunities versus what could be threats to you if you don't know how to do it, or if you don't have a specific network that can help you, and so on. Okay, so that's your assignment, to do a personal SWOT analysis on yourself. And it's a good thing to revisit that at least once a year. So even as you start working already or changing jobs, do a SWOT analysis on yourself at least once a year and see what needs to be done, because it will give you your action steps to do moving forward. Other sources of self-awareness that can help you know yourself better. One, assessment tests. So for example, in GBSB, the school offers certain assessments that you can use to understand yourself better, like MBTI assessments and other work style assessment tests. And sometimes the results can be surprising because they're so spot on, and you can definitely use that. You can apply that when you are starting to work, or when you notice your own work styles. Get feedback. Get as much feedback as possible from your professors, from your group mates, your classmates, your friends, because this feedback, this honest feedback from people can help you be better, can help you identify maybe some blind spots that you have and decide what to do with them. Working with coaches and mentors as well is a great source of self-awareness, because coaches and mentors kind of hold up a mirror in front of you for you to see yourself through a different lens, through a different pair of eyes. So use all of these sources of self-awareness that are available to you, whatever you can get, because the better you know yourself, the better you can shape your career moving forward. Because the clearest path to success is really to be authentic. It's not about creating some kind of image or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about being true to yourself, your talents, your values, what you are able to contribute, and generally being the best version or the most authentic version of you. That is the clearest path to success. All right, so now as we end our first module, maybe you have some questions before we move on to the next part. So some questions, or share in the chat box one important insight, just one important insight that you have gotten from this entire first module.
I think Mia Ekaterina wants to share or ask something.
Yes,
also
please.
Anma.
Ekaterina, yes, please share with us any question or insight.
Oh, there was not a question. Sorry, it was just for the previous request to raise the hand, so I have done it and it's still there. Sorry.
No worries.
No, don't worry, it's okay.
Amna.
But for me, frankly speaking, the best insight could be that it makes sense really to make this assessment regularly, like once a year, like you said. It's like, because world is changing, we are changing, that it makes sense to do it once a while.
Yes, this SWOT will tell you where you are. Like, it's your baseline based on opportunities and threats, like you said, in the world, and everything's changing. So yes, you need to do it at least once a year. Okay.